Alright boys, so over on the JP version of the game, we actually have another one of these Holy Grail front events, which, is all fine and dandy and everything, but that's actually not what I'm here to talk about in today's video. I mean, I could do an event guide on something like this, but they're actually really easy. If you just want me to run by it really quickly, basically, you're just going to go move your servants around the board, like a little bit of like a chess match, right? You're going to 1v1 a lot of your opponents, like for their different servants, right? And the goal is to try to like take the king, right? Like your master is basically your king piece. And then, I mean, for the last one, it was Caesar, and you were trying to get Julius Caesar. Once you beat them, you win, right? Like you either take down all the other servants or you take down their king piece and you win. You get a fragment for a Holy Grail. You do all of them, you get one Holy Grail extra, right? Like pretty simple, straightforward stuff. It's generally pretty fun. You can either cheese it by just bringing like an Arjuna altar with the scope and you just like smack everybody, just knock them all down, which is what a lot of people have been doing. Or you can kind of play it quote unquote normally, right, if you want a bit of a challenge, but it's generally like not super hard if your account is even decently pretty stacked. So yes, not super hard. What I'm actually here for is that a little birdie told me that all of the Sakura faces, or pretty much all of them, got some type of buff, right? Which is actually really funny because those servants are supposed to be coming to the NA version as well. Like we're supposed to be getting the Seraph event, like not like rerun on NA, but the condensed like week version of it where they're just like, look, you just do the main story. If you could do that main story, you get BB, right? Like you get an NP1 BB and then you can buy the other copies later, right? And the I believe it's the gold prism shop where you buy the extra copies for her, right? We're supposed to be getting that, and then funny enough, over here, because this is a like Seraph based event, right? A lot of the other Sakura faces and everything are getting buffed. So I haven't checked it out yet. I want to see what they're getting. I was told it was under like other updates. Yeah, the summoning campaign I was told was a little lackluster. I was going to be like, I don't know, maybe surprised, or I just thought it'd be really funny or ironic, maybe is the right word for it, that they would drop like, I was expecting like Melt and like Kingprotea and Kiara to be on this banner, right? But they're not, which I just thought would have been funny because they're supposed to be coming to the NA version, and it'd be really funny if they were going on rateable run JP. But so let's check this out. First and foremost, we have BB. It looks like they are buffing her third skill. It increases her the arts. Hold on a minute. I need to get the percentages on this. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, bro. She gets a 30% arts buff for 3 turns. That's actually really insane. And then she gets an on attack buff for 3 turns that she charges the party's NP gauge when, dude, I'm trying to tell you guys, it's literally the best card in the game. So now BB, every time she brave chains, she's going to be charging everybody's NP gauge by 10% on a high end. If you can get 3 brave chains going, which isn't impossible to do with, some card shuffling, some good luck, or just with Summer BB who locks all your cards in place, you can charge the entire party's NP gauge by 30% over those 3 turns. That's actually really insane. But I think this is actually the crazier part. I think her getting the 30% arts buff is not only going to, make her hit even harder than she already does, considering she's a free NP5, single target, boss killing unit, but it's going to make her hit harder, but she's also going to refund a lot better on her follow-up arts cards, which I actually thought she was already really good at doing, specifically because of skills like this that gave her star weight for 3 turns, and so it made it really easy to do arts crits with her, and that actually made it really easy to refund her NP. It's just going to be even easier now with her having like built-in batteries and also having a very strong arts buff. I also really like the fact that they're buffing a free-to-play servant, right, which they've been doing more and more, because if you're a newer player, back in the day, it was kind of like unheard of for them to start buffing a lot of these free-to-play servants because it just wasn't really something they did. But now it looks like they're doing it more and more. Because like what the other one they did recently was Gray, and Gray's NP buff was actually really insane, right? So I'm really looking forward to them buffing more of these free-to-plays in the future, especially if they look like this. Dude, BB's definitely not one of the free-to-play servants that needed a buff, but I'm happy that she got it because she's one of those servants I'm probably going to grail. So, yeah, I'm really happy that she got that. So, BB is pretty insane. What is this? They buffed your dodge skill to give you a 30% battery. Not exactly what Meltryllis I would say needed, but I think this is fine, right? Like, I think getting a 30% battery is always just going to be good. Like, you're never going to turn a battery down on a servant, because no matter what, as I, always talk about when we talk about batteries, is that the name of the game in FGO is spamming your NP. It doesn't matter if you're a DPS servant, if you are, some support type servant, or you're some self-buffing servant, like say Super Orion. Everybody realistically wants to get to their NP, right? Their NP is pretty much, like, you could say, like, the primary focus of their kit. And then, like, the skills are to help you get to that NP or help synergize with said NP, right? So getting a 30% battery is not only, like, just really, really good to help her fire her NP. I would say this makes Meltryllis quite a bit better because it gives her more synergy with different, like, starting charge CEs, right? 30% does give her some synergy with all of the 50% CEs because you can give her her append skill, which will give her an additional starting charge of 20%, meaning she can have, like, a fake 50% battery, right? She could start off with any 50% starting charge CE, which is really good. It does definitely open up the door a bit for more team comps with Meltryllis. This also actually makes her really, really good for farming as well. If you run into, say, some type of node where, there's 3 enemies, then 1 enemy, then another 3 enemies, right? Those weird nodes, you guys know what I'm talking about, that can really mess up your farming. Meltryllis is going to be really, really good for that because she does pretty good damage. And as an alter ego, this is actually going to be a place where she can kind of shine, because it means you can bring her to any of those weird nodes where there might be one really big rider enemy, assassin, zerk, or caster enemy, right? Like, it's really, really good for all that type of stuff. So, all right, that's actually really, really good for Meltryllis. I definitely do like to see that they definitely made her quite a bit better with that. They just kind of gave her a lot more versatility, if you guys kind of get what I'm saying. Dude, her skill went from EX to B. Lore-wise, I think it got weaker, bro. But okay. Oh, sorry if my my voice is sounding a little bit dead. I did just kind of wake up, but okay. Okay, bro. Okay, dog. So she's getting 40% attack for 3 turns, and then she's getting 10% NP damage per stack. If you guys remember, she could stack like 10 of these at a time. This is really insane. I mean, like, just to reiterate, like, just look at this. So not only does she build these up and she can, like, stack up to 10, you have to be smart about it, obviously, because it only lasts for 3 turns. But, like, let's say you pop it once you're, like, 5 stacks in. That's 40% attack and 50% NP damage. And then that's going to be 40% plus 60, then 70, then 80, and then it'll die off on that 80%. She is going to do ridiculous levels of damage, because it doesn't even matter that she's like an AoE, right? The fact is that she'll have this, and then I believe the Buster buff, yeah, on her NP, which is at bare minimum 20% plus 20%. So that's 40%. This is absolutely insane, bro. I think, like, literally, I think even bare minimum you could pop this skill when you have your 3rd stack, or 3rd or 4th stack. That's 40% attack. That'd be 30 to 40% NP damage, 40% Buster buff at bare minimum. Like, dude, she's going to punch people really, 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 really hard. Yeah, Kingprotea is definitely looking, like, really, really good. She is definitely forming into one of, like, the best servants for long, drawn-out fights. Like, if you know that you're going to be there for, like, 10 plus turns, she's gonna, like, crush things. It's funny that I'm bringing this up because we just did Lost Belt 5.2 over on stream, which is a kind of like a little plug to be like, hey, man, if you're not coming out to stream, make sure you come out to stream. It's linked in the description down below. But we were doing the Wotamine fight, and that is literally just one of those fights that's really, really long, right? Like, it's pretty hard to like burst through it really, really quickly. It's designed to be very, very slow, long, and drawn out. And I'm like, dude, Kingprotea actually with this buff would probably just thrash that quest, dude. Because the longer it goes on, the better she's going to get. So that's actually really insane. And then Lip, okay. Not looking at it. Let me get into this. Let me close my eyes. Passionlip needs quite a few things. Her damage is pretty bad. She needs a way to get to her NP faster. Those are probably like the two primary things, and I'm hoping they address both of them. Increases Buster by 20% for 3 turns. Charges on NP gauge by 20%. Okay, well, that technically addresses both of those things. But that Buster buff's a little low, no? Like, why did BB get 30% arts for 3 turns? But then they gave Lip the 20% for 3 turns. Because if you guys don't know, usually with card buffs, it's either they give you like a 30% buff for 3 turns, or they'll give you like 3 attacks of like 50%, or just 50% straight up for 1 turn. I don't know why they are giving Passionlip the shaft. Like, are they afraid she'd be like too broken? Is it like, but like her other skills aren't like super insane. I mean, this is good, but I'm wondering why the slight shaft? You know what I'm saying? Because she can do a lot of damage if this is procced, right? But you're not always like under this, and it's kind of hard to like sit under 50%, right? It's because like usually bosses in FGO are either going to like obliterate you, or you're going to be like really tanky, right? And with all the defense that like Lip has between like this and this, it's kind of hard for her to take damage on this turn, right? And she still has this, like, okay, so this is actually not even that big of a deal, because you literally just pop this skill first, right? And you get yourself your debuff immunity, and then you neg your own stun, right? But like, I don't know, like, are they afraid that she's going to be like too good if they give her the normal like 30% for 3 turns? I'm not sure. Sometimes I want to get like interview notes, or I want to know like how much testing they actually did, because I want to know like why they would do that. Because also the NP gauge by 20% is again like a slight shaft. If this was 30%, then with her append skill down here, she would have 50%, and that would actually give her some validity with Koi and Skya. But they like are specifically like pushing her away to be like, no, you're not gonna be in this meta. So I don't know what they're up to. They're definitely being some sussy bakas over there, because this addresses 2 areas that Lip definitely needed help with. But it's a little bit of a shaft. You guys know what I'm saying? Like, because it seems like they're forcefully like holding her back, right? Does anybody else get that? Is anyone else picking up on that vibe? Because everything Lip gets is a buff. It's like, this is good, but it's a little like hard to get to, right? And then this is just kind of good, but for current standards, it's a little low. And then this hasn't been buffed yet. And then they just straight up didn't do anything when she got her NP buff. They were like, hey bro, have an extra 1000 HP. You're like, yeah, cool, thanks dude, based. Thanks for the extra 1000 HP. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think Meltryllis probably won when it comes to buffs, because now this is going to make her just infinitely more usable, more of like a toolbox servant that you could just kind of bring to like way more quests. She has all this synergy now with different CEs, very good for farming and stuff as well. Her class actually can let her take advantage of that, because she can hit like 4 different classes of people. So very versatile servant for your box. I think after that, probably BB's winning out at like 2nd place, and this is probably 3rd, but this is really close behind. Like, I think the only thing that quote-unquote holds Kingprotea back is the fact that she's designed kind of like specifically for long events. But it's like, dude, if you get any of those quests that you're gonna be there for just like more than 3 turns, honestly, she's probably gonna crush it, right? She's gonna crush it. So yeah, dude, like these 3 are just looking really nice. This is good. I don't want anybody to misunderstand, but I just don't know why. Like, I feel like they're trying to shaft Passionlip. Like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, why are we holding her back, dude? Well, not 30%, 30%, dude. Come on, just do it, Lisengle. I'm liking that they're giving these batches of massive buffs because I always love it when they do stuff like this. It's really, really hype when like servants are getting better. So at least they're doing this. Like, keep this up. This stuff is really, really cool. With all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here after telling you guys to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, as we are within sniffing distance of 20K, bro. And I'm so ready to hit that 20K mark, as that's going to feel pretty good. I'm not going to know what I'm going to do with myself, though, because it's definitely going to be a very strange feeling, because it's literally the meme of, like, what are you going to do now? It's like, I don't know. I never thought I would get this far. Like, I don't know, bro. But as I mentioned previously, I stream every weekday over on my Twitch, which is linked down in the description down below. Also, next Saturday, I'm going to be running a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament on actually EDO this time, so it's a bit more accessible. If you want more details about that, you can go to the description down below and join the Discord. And then finally, if you want to support the channel for absolutely free, you can download LD Emulator. It is the first link in the description down below. It actually lets you play FGO at 120 frames per second, which I've been doing on stream. And literally every time someone joins the stream, they're like, bro, look at the frame rate, dude. It's insane. And I was like, I know. I just literally discovered it like recently. I was like, oh, dude, I've been playing in 30 FPS this whole time like a scrub. Like, what? It's like, it's really, really nice. But yeah, with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace. Late, guys.